So, Cheryl, how's the market?
Well, Margo, it's been a little slow for the last few months, I think. So
It's been frozen.
it's been frozen. I do think weather has had an impact.
I do too. And I think with all the storms around the country, basically, not just here, that it's keeping people from traveling.
That's true. We went through the holidays, which is always a slowdown. Right before that, we had the election, which historically is a slowdown. I felt like things ticked up just a little bit in between the election and Thanksgiving, but then it just has kind of bottomed out for the last couple of months. Do you think?
Yes, yes.
So
Absolutely.
And I think our numbers show what we're saying here. So talk about Fairfield Glade. What are we seeing in Fairfield Glade?
Fairfield Glade has slowed down. It's cooled off. There are 5 houses sold so far up there in February. So year to date, there's been 30 houses sold in Fairfield Glade. So we're down about a third.
Yeah, about 30% it looks like. So 43 homes year to date last year and 30 homes year to date this year in Fairfield Glade. So 30% decline.
Yeah.
But, if you think year to date, for at least 2 weeks in January, we had snow and ice and cold weather. So that carried over to February closings. So I don't think the sky's falling yet. We've just got to get some spring weather in here, right?
Yeah, and if you look like New York and Boston in that area, they've had feet of snow.
Yes.
They've had a lot of snow, so I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah, and when you
Traveling.
consider that most of our buyers are coming in from other states, they don't want to travel during the winter weather. So
And we're definitely people from the south.
That's
that
right.
want to come up here. In
That's
the winter.
right. We're down a little bit from last year to date, but we're only 45, 50 days into the year right now, so I don't think we can really base a lot on that. Now, a couple of interesting things that I saw is that the price really hasn't changed much. So the median price is above what we were this time last year. And that can be skewed because there were so few homes sold, I guess. But what are we seeing for median price in Fairfield Glade year to date?
Year to date, about 437,000.
And that's
This price,
yes. And then sold price was 407.
So
So
they're listing high.
yeah, that's up $40,000 from last year. Last year, the median sold price was $360. So, could be skewed a little because of the number of homes, but we're not seeing drastic slashes in prices. And I think that's promising. The days on the market has dropped considerably from even back as far as September, October. The days on the market in January and February has come down some. So
I was surprised that number is so low.
days on the market, yeah, because February days on the market was just under 40, like 38 days, right?
There are 113 active listings right now in Fairfield Glade, so there's some homes to choose from.
Yeah,
It could be a real good time to be buying a home up there.
that's right. Yeah, and I think waiting till spring when we do have more buyers in, that's just going to increase the demand and the prices may push up even a little bit more. So Fairfield has been a little surprising for the last couple of months. But I think also Fairfield is probably more affected by the weather and the out-of-state buyers than anywhere else in the
I
county.
think so too. I think a lot of people come to that area to play golf and look for a house. I think maybe they pair those two together.
Oh, yeah.
You're not playing golf in Fairfield Glade now.
Can't find your golf balls when there's snow on yours, right?
No. But they were a couple weeks ago,
That's true. Yeah. So, and that may show up in March. We may see, that little bit of warm weather may help the March sales out. So, but I feel like all indicators are good that the market is going to be good into the spring and summer. It's just going to take some warm weather to get that kicked off.
Yeah, really looking at the numbers, we might start a little early as far as, there's more homes on the market, there's more available for people to look at online, and then maybe they'll start to travel here sooner in the year.
Yeah, and if the weather breaks, we're almost to March, so if the weather breaks and they've got a lot of inventory to look at, then yeah, I think you're right. It could potentially start a little earlier than normal. So Well, moving on to Tansi, it doesn't seem to be quite as affected as Fairfield. What are you seeing in Lake Tansi right now?
Lake Tansi looks pretty much the same as it did last year at this time. Not a lot going on. Surprisingly, there was at least $1 million house that sold there.
Yeah,
So that's skewed the numbers quite a lot because there's only been a few homes sold there, which is normal
Right.
for Lake Tansi.
right.
The number of homes on the market right now is very close to last year. There's about 50 homes listed for sale at Lake Tansi, and last year we were at 44. So it looks very comparable.
Very similar, yeah. And I think looking at the median sale price, that, like you said, with so few homes and then that $1 million house, and there was another one on the lake that was similar in price. We had two high dollar sales.
Yeah, I think one was $699 and one was $1 million.
Yeah,
Really
So-
makes those numbers.
yeah.
out of whack.
Those are not the typical Tansi sales.
No.
So it skews the median and the average when you have so few homes. But again, days on the market dropped down a lot in February. Pricing is staying pretty similar. List prices actually is lower than the median price, which is interesting there. So, well, the trend, not the list price, but the trend for the sold price ticked up. And I guess that goes back to that $1 million sale. So
I think so.
yeah, number of listings is still good. That's been pretty stable for about a year now. There's quite a bit of inventory, so people have some choices. You know, one thing that we talked about last time we did this is in Tansi, you can still buy new construction for around $300,000.
And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You know, it's not a small
With a garage, a lot of
with a
them.
garage.
Now I've seen a few of the really smaller ones without a garage, but those are not the typical new construction. A typical new construction in Tansi is going to be between 12 and 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a garage. You can't do that very many other places in the county. So Tansi's still an attractive place for someone looking for that newer home on a budget.
It is. I see it as the most affordable. The only possible problem is availability of homes.
Well, and I think lots to build on has been the problem there. And if you watch our last video on the septic issues, we talked about some of the things that make it hard to build in Tansi. So, you know, that may not always be the case that you can buy $300,000 new construction in Tansi if the lots get harder and harder to find. So
Yeah.
if that's what you're looking for, you better come on while the lots are available.
Something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there you need to buy 2 lots basically to build a house on.
Yeah.
Just to have the room for the septic.
Yeah, those lots are very small, so it seems to be fewer of those available and harder to find. Well, moving on to the county, what's happening in Cumberland County?
Cumberland County has been on fire. Not literally, but it's been the busiest area, but it's also the largest area.
Yeah, it really is surprising when you look at the numbers, though, because 271 homes on the market in Cumberland County. That's good for this time of year.
It is. That's up like 13%.
Sold is a little down still for year to date, but not drastically. Only 5. We sold 45 this year, 50 last year to date. So
It's right on what it was last year.
yeah. But the number of listings, I think, is really going to be key going into spring here because there's so much more available than we've had in a while. Now,
I'm amazed by that number.
yeah.
You know, that's 50 more homes, about maybe 45 more homes
Than last year.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of homes.
Yeah, and prices still are holding pretty steady. Year to date, the median price in Cumberland County is $310, and last year was $277.5, so up about 12%. But
Definitely the most affordable
overall,
homes are in the county.
yes, overall, Cumberland County includes we've included in our numbers Lake Tansi, but not Fairfield Glade. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that so? Because Fairfield Glade tends to be more expensive and skews the numbers for the county. So this and Tansi combined is more affordable in general.
It is.
Days on the market is down. Listing prices are still ticking up just a little bit.
Yeah, I think overall with inflation and across the country, you see the tick up in the prices of homes. So it's not a huge jump.
Nothing drastic.
No, and this area, we tend to go up 5 to 10% a year anyway. So,
well, and I think that's average across the board when you talk about home prices. So I don't think anything crazy is happening there. But, people who were waiting for the prices to come down, we're just not seeing that. And I think, we're kind of past that. If that was going to happen, I think it would have happened back in the fall around election time and through the holidays, and it just really didn't. So
yeah, we definitely be seeing it now, but we're not.
We're not, no. I think prices will continue to hold steady and increase just slightly. I don't think we're going to see the craziness that we saw in 2021, 2022. Hopefully we're not going back to that.
Yeah, I hope not.
But I don't think we're on the verge of a crash, and data doesn't seem to indicate that.
Yeah, I think we're going to have another strong year here in this area of home sales. I think that from what I hear, the interest rates are going to stay around 6.5 for the rest of the year.
I saw today that they had ticked back up just a little bit closer to 7, but between 6.5 and 7, and at least they're stable. So you're not looking at 7.5 and 8. The other thing was the news report that we saw showing the home shortage in Tennessee as a whole, and I think we're definitely seeing that in Cumberland County. We were talking about the new constructions in Lake Tansi, but we've not really had a lot of new construction in several years here. I mean, on a large scale, we don't have a large subdivision being built or anything like that. So I think just the supply and demand equation is going to be huge going into spring and summer, because we don't have the homes that people are needing.
And we don't have like townhouses and condos and things like that available. So
yeah,
it could be tough when you work with people and they have I want this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and maybe a workshop, and you start getting all those details of what they want, and there might be 2 in the whole county, out of almost 300 homes for sale.
Right.
So I think if they're very specific like that of what they want, it's going to be tough to find something.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm looking forward to spring.
Me too.
And
it'll be here soon.
Hopefully, I'm ready. So like and subscribe to our channel if you want more information.